Okay, continue with some gentle and easy uh, little meditations, little relaxations. And these are definitely something that we can touch base with throughout the day, whether we're following along with something or we just take a moment to take a few deep breaths and a few moments of stillness and just let the breath relax. This is a very powerful way to remind ourselves and to stay connected in our experience, in our body throughout the day, where we don't have to wait for upheaval and we don't have to wait for um, things to happen to call us back into our body and our stillness. And so just go ahead and relax once again. One of the quickest ways to tune in is to close the eyes, if your environment is appropriate for that. Closing the eyes helps us to tune inward, takes some of the sensory information out of our mental awareness. And from there, with or without the eyes closed, begin to bring your awareness to your breath. It is the simplest and most effective way to relax and to release stress and tension, to soften heightened emotions. It is one of the most effective ways to bring ourselves into the moment, into the experience, even if in the moment we are physically active or mentally engaged or uh, performing some kind of duty or some kind of task. The moment we bring our breath inside, the moment we bring our awareness to our breath, there's a shift in our state of being so that we may be centered even in the midst of activity, so that we may have access to the best possible choices, the best possible frame of mind, emotional states, and we may access emotional intelligence, that we can soften the upheavals and the distortions and find ourselves here. So taking those moments throughout the day, whether it's 10 seconds or a minute or 10 minutes, to tune inward, to tune into the body. If there were a camera on me throughout my day, you would find me doing this sometimes very often, sometimes just a handful of times a day. I take those opportunities to pause, to breathe, to be, to rest my eyes, to rest my mind, to allow my emotional state to become peaceful, calm, balanced. Giving my nervous system a rest. Allow myself to move out of high alert into an inner stillness, an inner awareness. Even if the environment and situation requires me to be alert, just by tuning into my breath and bringing my breath into my belly, I can be in that experience, yet anchored into my center. Just focus on your breath. You might be breathing deep and loud, cleansing breaths. You might be breathing slow and gentle and soft with the belly, a natural breath. You might hum a soft tune. You might silently or quietly chant to yourself. You might gently repeat a mantra in your mind. I am here. I am here. You might release a sigh of relief. You might release a sigh of frustration. You might release a sigh of sadness. You might release a sound of anger. Maybe after a few of those, maybe a sound that's playful. Ha 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 ha. And just allow yourself to play with those sounds, with those breaths, and notice that a shift in the breath creates a shift in our state of being. Just as a shift in our emotions and our feelings will change the way that we breathe. If we're in stress and high alert, if we're in sadness and depression, if we're in anxiety or anger, just simply bring my awareness to my breath and find where my breath is in my body. Is it high in my chest and rapid? It's in my middle section, fairly rapid, or am I soft and relaxed deep into the belly? Every emotion, every state of being has its own quality of breath. So I can play out those feelings through the sounds of my breath. And then I can soften my breath and begin to shift my emotional states as I allow myself to tune inward. Whether my eyes are closed and I'm in a safe, quiet place, or there's hustle and bustle and demand and things happening all around me, I always can tune in to my breath. I can always rely on my breath, the sounds of my breath, to help me through. And adjusting breath, exhale. Gather the breath fully or gently if your environment doesn't agree with that. And release. When I'm out in the world, I don't necessarily use my hands or a big loud breath. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes I have to be a little more just inner and still and relaxed about it. Whatever's right for me in that moment. And release. And you can continue to stay in that state and rest and breathe and be. Or you can begin to move and twist and stretch and begin going about your day. Be well. Namaste.